rồi còn mãi ra đi. Đi đâu lênh quanh cho đời mỏi mệt. Trên hai vai ta đôi vẫn ẩn nguyện. Rồi suốt trăm năm một cõi đi về. Lời nào của cây, lời nào của lòng, một chiều ngồi xây, một đời ẩn nguyện. Ngày qua mưa tàn mùa xuân, rồi tàn mùa hạ. Một ngày đầu thu nghe chân ngựa về chốn xa. Mây che trên đầu và nắng trên vai. Đôi chân ta đi xong còn ở lại. Con tin yêu thương vô tình chợt gọi. Lại vậy trong ta hiện một con người. Nghe mưa nơi này lại nhớ mưa xa. Mưa bay trong ta mưa từng hạt nhỏ. Trăm năm vô biên chưa từng hồi ngộ. Chẳng biết nơi nào là chốn quê nhà. Đường dài vòng quanh một con kiều kỳ, một bờ cỏ non, một bờ hồng thủy. Ngày xưa từng lời ta hát là lời ngô đi, từng lời bề sóng nghe ta thủ đô suối khe. Trong khi ta về lại nhớ ta đi. Đi lên non cao, đi về biển rộng. Đôi tay nhân ra chưa từng độ lượng. Hòn đỏ hoang vu thổi mùa xuân về. Hôm nay ta say ôm đời ngủ buồn. Về số mai đây lại tiếng xuân thêm.
If the loving heart is in love, then it will be suffering. Our Buddha nature does not have love and hatred. Therefore, it suddenly calls us. The next sentence is, the human being's shadow appears in ourselves. That is who we really are. When Venerable Wei Min wanted to run after the bull and cassock of Patriarch Hu Nang, he asked how to recognize his true face. Up until that time, Venerable Wei Min followed Venerable Tan Tu and still has not enlightened yet. So patriarch Hiunang told him to calm down, put down the cassock, to rest a little. Don't think good and don't think evil. Then that space in between good and bad is his true face. Don't you think this sentence is very good? As the feet have gone to find the truth, but the river of lust still remains behind. The river is asset, and the river of wives and children still remain behind. They have not yet followed to the sea yet. The loving heart and hating heart are the sixth consciousness. But then Buddha's nature unintentionally and suddenly calls. The sixth patriarch knew very well, and he told Venerable Wei Min to let the love and hatred go, so the human being's shadow appear in ourselves. That is when our true self no longer is influenced by love and hatred. Only the acknowledged without differentiation of women and men, like the rich and void the poor. That is when the human being's shadow appears in ourselves. That is when the song really reflects the spirit of the Diamond Sutra. Because it is when we are seeing ourselves' true face, from the ancient to the present. For a long time, we have a human body, but we are just demons, ghosts, or wild animals. We are not human beings because we live with the mind of love and hatred. We only become human after we return to our Buddhist nature. That is when we will actually be the human being, because we are, at last, have rid the delusional mind and have retained the true mind. Hearing the rain here, then remember the rain in other places. That is, today we hear the Dharma of the Buddha, such as the Dharma in the Lotus Sutra or the Diamond Sutra. The Dharma of the Buddha spoke like raindrops. People who are predestined with Buddha's Dharma for many generations is like a big tree. He or she will receive a large amount of water. People who are predestined for only a few days, he or she is like a small grass which receives the smallest benefits of Dharma. As the rain drops with tiny droplets. Nowadays, the 1,250 great disciples of the Buddha no longer is around. They are like the big trees, so they just need to listen to Buddhist teaching and they will obtain enlightenment. On the other hand, we are living in the ending Dharma age. Therefore, we hear the rain in this place. I remember Buddha's residual sound through the Diamond Sutra and the words of Dharma Master Thich, Thong Lai. Remember the rain in other places as the rain drops with tiny droplets. We cannot be enlightened as Buddha's 1,250 great disciples and thousands of nuns at that time. We somehow have to listen to the rain here to remember the rain in other places. Remember the rain when Buddha was still in this world, so we can slowly enlighten. As the rain of Dharma drops upon us, we enlighten each small part slowly. For 100 years, boundless, never once met. That is, after living for countless and boundless generations of hundreds of years long in the past, we still never met our Buddha's nature. We still do not know where home is because we still haven't recognized our true self, so we don't know where to return. We don't know where our home is. My fellow listeners, don't think that is great. Hundreds years of boundless, but still haven't recognized our true self. Therefore, we still don't know where our origin is. Once we know where our origin is, that is when we will obtain our true mind and rid the delusional mind. We will no longer chase the illusion. Winning a troop of 10,000 soldiers is not equal to winning with our own delusional mind. Sakmani Buddha was enlightened because he recognized his Buddha's nature. He appeared in this world to teach us how to enlighten, so we can know which place is home. So we stop running after love and hatred, chasing after the lust, the birth and death. Whoever attains the enlightenment, then they finally meet after hundreds of years. We then no longer say that we do not know where home is. The sentence, the road is circling around, a circle of deriving. Every emancipated, many women save up and dare not to eat and dare not to spend, so they can donate to the monks to build temples, buy cars, buy iPhones. They emancipated and their families are deprived. That is a circling of depriving. This sentence is not as good as the next one. A patch of green grass, like a dream in the past. What is a patch of green grass? It is those Dharma monks. They teach their disciples to sell the assets to donate so the disciples will be reborn in heaven. That means the monk painted a patch of green grass, which is also the heaven realm, or a blissful world, so the disciples could live in a dream. Can you see this? It is so great. As you circle around, you get tricked by the monks from this temple. And you get tricked at another temple by different monks a little more. You get tricked by the Pure Land sect, by Zen sect, by those Tibetan monks. And you even run to India. In the end, the patch of the green grass is just an illusional dream. Under the Diamond Sutra viewpoint, it was all an illusion. With the spirit of the Diamond Sutra, these monks has simply taught offering flowers to the Buddha so you can be beautiful in the next life. Build temples for these monks so you will own castles and villas in your next life. However, the husband and children of these people live in torn huts and will be hungry while these lay women cook delicious dishes for the monks. This sentence is so wonderful. Many ladies and gentlemen are running around for a whole life and living the dreaming life until they all run out of money. Then they become deprived. A patch of green grass is just a dreamy life. To these ordinary people, the monks tell them to practice giving alms and offer money for the monks so they will be wealthy in the next life. It was all a dream. You're tricked by the patch of green grass of blessing. That is why a patch of green grass is a dreamy life. As you listen to the Diamond Sutra, do not get tricked by the patch of green grass, because it was just a dream. And you are in control of your happiness and your suffering, and no one else. If we live with the true mind and Buddha's nature, we then will end our karma. But if we live with our delusional mind and can't rid of it, then we will suffer. It is all because of us and no one else. Only our selfness can make us suffer or be happy. Please stop running around the temples and getting exhausted because of the dreaming patch of green grass. Each dusk description is a grave. The dusk is the sun going down in the end of the day. Sir, you are 80 years old. Your life is at dusk. You are not far away from the grave. You know how to recite Diamond Sutra, like the creek already has water, but streams are not beneficial for sentient beings. You must turn into the river. However, you have further evolved into the sea to help other sentient beings. You already heard and have recited the Diamond Sutra. Your daughter has heard the Diamond Sutra from your recitation, which is the sound of the stream. She has also experienced the enlightenment from the Dharma. You are 80 years old and already in the dusk of the late sun. You are not far away from the grave. Every word of the dusk is a grave word. Every word of the river means the words of my Diamond Sutra preaching. The preaching of the Diamond Sutra is the words of the river and the sea, while your words are the words of the stream. Sir, do you know in the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha said practicing a verse of 4 sentences will have immeasurable blessing? Reciting is not enough. You must understand, practice, and live with it. Like eating rice, you have to swallow it and hold it inside. That is where you have to understand the Diamond Sutra and apply it to your everyday, daily life. Reciting the Diamond Sutra repeatedly is not beneficial at all. But you have to recite it, practice it, and live with it. Your words have to be heard from the stream to the river and into the ocean. The stream, river, or the sea are just words that are used for describing Dharma. Buddha's Dharma is just simply a boat for you to leave the dreamy banks to reach the awakened bank. Once you cross the river, you have to leave the raft behind. This sentence does not oppose the Diamond Sutra at all. While you are back, remember where and when we left. We have come back many people have recognized the true mind and Buddha's nature. It was wonderful, but we miss our wives, children, assets, and benefits as an ordinary human being. We keep going back into a vicious cycle. We once returned to our true mind and Buddha's nature, but we did not stay because we miss our money, miss beauty, miss our lovers, miss our children and grandchildren. And then we go back down the old path, going up to the mountains and returning to the wide sea. If we go back, then we all have to go all the way to the summit. Otherwise, you have not come to liberation yet. Go to the wide sea. Do not stop at the stream. Humans' hands have never been generous. Sir, once you understand the Diamond Sutra, you must become generous and forgiving. I have been practicing Diamond Sutra and did many good things for the homeland. I have been recognized and honored the soldiers of the Republic of Vietnam, but your hands have never been generous to me. I only sang a song called The Realm of Return, written by Jun Gum Sơ, but you heavily condemned me that the Republic of Vietnam monk still sang the music of Jun Gum Sơ. So this sentence is too good. Going up to the mountain and return to the wide sea. I have climbed up the high mountain, and it was very difficult, but because of that, I am where I am today. I have gone to the open sea, that is, I have opened my wisdom in the Diamond Sutra for everyone. But the human's hands have never been generous, which means you have never been generous with me. Please be a little more generous to me. After listening to my preaching, please forgive my sins so the wild wind blows throughout youth. People who already recognizes their nature and still remain in this world, they have to be suitable for 8 different kinds of winds. What are the wild winds? They are gain, lost, praise, lamented, right and wrong. Your daughter told me that you refused to listen to my preaching because I sang Trinh Công songs, music. So your wild wind blew away from the youth and Buddha's nature. My mind's still disturbed because the human hands are not generous. The wild wind blows away the youth and is bitter, cold. It is bitter because you don't understand me. Out of everybody, you had been in the re-education camp and have sacrificed. I really want you to be enlightened by the Dharma. Sir, the wild wind of love, hatred, gain, lust, and the 8 winds of mind still blows off Buddha's nature. Today we are deep in sleepy life. That means we still haven't opened our wisdom. People who have not recognized their nature, then they are called as non-sober. Today we are drunk and in deep sleep, so tomorrow we will regret the youths tomorrow. That means when you die, you will regret why you are dwelled on a little misunderstanding, please open up your hands to be a little more generous so you can be enlightened with the Dharma of the Diamond Sutra. So when you die, you will not regret it. If you are still not awakened from my singing and rather remain in the sleepy life, one day you will regret the youth had gone. At the age of 80, you are still in deep sleep, even though you have recited the Diamond Sutra for 10 years. Please be a little more generous with the monk Thich, LAI, so you can be enlightened in the realm of return. These are my thoughts to confide with hope to clear the misconception of a Dalak ex-officer. I think I have said enough as I have explained. You can see the song Return of Realm is absolutely not wrong with the spirit of the Diamond Sutra. Once you understand the Dharma, you can use the Diamond Sutra's loop and see everything is Diamond Sutra. The daughter also said her father also lamented me singing the first love and the last love. It was a love sick song written by Tran Tien Ton. It is impossible for a monk who sang the first love and the last love to preach the Diamond Sutra. I told her it is possible. I sang that song because I heard it from Zen master Thich who taught his disciple practice meditation by analyzing subjects. As some of you know, Zen master Thich was at the same era with the Venerable Thich Tantu. Zen master Tantu taught his disciples not to follow the delusional mind until they were able to retain their true mind. Meanwhile, Zen master Thich was very famous on preaching his disciples meditation based on analyzing the subject. I was practicing his meditation method but did not grasp the concept until one day a female disciple played the first love and last love song written by Tran Tien Ton. Once I was done listening to the song, I suddenly understood the opening sentence of Zen Master Dailat. The first love is the first recognition with the true mind, while the last love involves the delusional mind. When Zen Master wanted to teach me as if I wanted to say something, for an example, if I wanted to compliment a young woman walking by, prior to opening my mouth, my consciousness must form a love-hate thought. Venerable Dailat told us to live with the original subject or the original thought, which was the true mind. He did not want us to live with a thought after the words had spoken. In the end, I sang the first love and the last love not because I regretted it or I was lovesick, but it was because I saw clearly the first love and the last love all caused internal suffering. We cycle in samara, and we only knew the last love without knowing the first love. The first love is Buddha's nature, And the last love is the delusional mind. Therefore, the suffering lasts for eternity. Every song under the Diamond Sutra's viewpoints are all so wonderful. So today I hope the 80-year-old ex-officer will be a little more generous with me and listen to the Diamond Sutra so that later on he will not regret because of the deep sleep or when at his ending time he will miss his youth. I now will start to preach the Diamond Sutra again. I will first read a paragraph in the Diamond Sutra and then I will analyze it. For the past hour, I was analyzing the realm of return to open the mind of an ex-officer because of his prejudice against Jun Gong-seung. I want his human hands to be more generous so he has an opportunity to recite the Diamond Sutra and not to forget the spirit of the Diamond Sutra. Today I will preach the section of the Diamond Preaching Diamond Sutra and translate it to Vietnamese by great Venerable Thich. I will continue to read the passage of the Dharma taught by the Buddha to Elder Sibitu. Sibitu, do you think if someone uses all the 7 precious jewels of 3,000 great celestial to give alms, he or she will be blessed limitless or not? What is the meaning of the word 3,000 great celestials? The sun, the moon, and its planets combined as a solar system. A small celestial has 1,000 solar system. A mid-celestial has 1,000 small celestial. A great celestial has 1,000 mid-celestial. The Buddha said to use all the 7 precious jewels of the 3,000 of the great celestials or millions of planets to give alms. The blessing from doing that must be unspeakable. Sibitu, do you think if someone uses all these 7 precious jewels of the 3,000 great celestials to give alms, he or she will be blessed limitless or not? Elder Sibitu responded, yes, the blessing must be unspeakable. Why? Because that blessing is not the blessing nature. Therefore, Tathagata said it is unspeakable. Is the blessing nature same as Buddha's nature? When we were born, we already have Buddha's nature. The LAI consciousness is already exists because of our karma from previous life. It was not created by anyone, while demon's nature is created by the mind of love and hatred. That is, when we hear an unpleasant comment or see an unhappy sight, we become mad and hatred. That was because of the predestined cause and effect. Once the predestined condition has ended, then the madness and hatred will be resolved. For example, the wife heard an unpleasant comment and she cursed at her husband. Once the predestined condition is settled, she will no longer be mad at him. Buddha's nature is the knowing nature. It doesn't get created or disappear because of the predestined condition. However, in this section, and blessing nature is not the blessing from using all the 7 jewels of the 3,000 great celestials to give alms. The blessing of giving alms is influenced by the predestination of cause and effect. If there is not predestined, then there is no blessing for giving alms. While the blessing nature can't be calculated because it has no beginning or ending. According to the Buddha, if we predestined to hear the Diamond Sutra in this world, that means we had attended many Buddhist assembly as his followers. We listened to his Dharma to practice the 10 goods and give alms. Under Buddhism viewpoint, I did not just establish one Amatet village or a few temples. I had also established millions of pagodas during countless lives. Our Buddhist followers who are listening to the sutra had given alms with so much gold and silver. If adding up from the time you have consciousness until now, the gold and silver can fill up 3,000 great celestials. However, you still have not recognized your Buddhist nature. That is, you still cycle in the samsara. That was the reason the Buddha said it was so much blessing. As you cycle in samsara, you have offered millions of robes to monks, cooked in millions of temples' kitchen, offer millions of boutiques for millions of Buddhas. However, that blessing did not save birth and death. Therefore, it was not equal to someone who understood and practices a verse of 4 sentences in this sutra. The blessing of this person is more than the blessing of giving alms. The Buddha said all the Buddha and the supreme Dharma of the Buddha came from this sutra. To say that Buddhist Dharma is not the Buddha Dharma has 2 confusing points. First, Buddha said all Buddha came from this sutra. There was a person who had emailed last night to ask if the Buddha came first or the sutra came first. I asked why he asked such a question. He said because Buddha Sikmuni said in the Diamond Sutra that all Buddhas and supreme Dharmas came from this sutra. That meant Buddha Sikmuni came from this sutra. So what came first? Sutra or Buddha? I have not answered him, but I asked him if Buddha's nature came first or Buddha came first. Buddha's nature of Prince Sakmuni came first, or Buddha Sakmuni existed first. This fellow responded, Buddha's nature of Prince Sakmuni came first because he was the crown prince and he had not recognized his Buddhist nature because he had not meditated for 49 days under the Bodhi tree. The crown prince became the Buddha once he recognizes his nature and was enlightened. I told him that Buddha's nature of mind and all Buddha already existed. Whoever recognizes their Buddha's nature, then they become the Buddha. This person then teaches other sentient beings ways to recognize their Buddha nature, which is called the Sutra. The time of Sikmuni Buddha was the doctrine Dharma age. And the Buddha was a person who became enlightened because he recognizes his Buddha's nature. That was the reason he said the Buddha's nature came first. The day the sentient beings recognizes Buddha's nature is the day they become the Buddha. The Buddha preached Dharma to Venerable Anang, Elder Salaifak, Elder Sibutu, 1,250 monks, and tens of thousands of lay persons at that time. Those people became Buddhists because they have listened to the Dharma. So my answers are in this ending Dharma era. The sutra came first, and during the time of Buddha Sikmuni, the Buddha nature of Sikmuni existed first. After the Buddha Sikmuni obtained enlightenment, he then spoke the sutra. You have to understand it like that. However, the most difficult thing to understand is all Buddhists and Supreme Dharma of the Buddha all came from this sutra. As you understand, whoever forgets Buddha's nature, he or she is simply a living thing. Whoever can see Buddha's nature, that person is Buddha. After seeing Buddha's nature, he will explain to other people. That is when the Dharma existed first. For example, I listened to the Dharma from Venerable Wei Tan and Venerable Tuyen Hua. Therefore, I have recognized a small part of my Buddha's nature. In this case, I clearly stated that the sutra came first and my Buddhist nature came later. The next section, the Buddha told Sibutu that he spoke Dharma, but it was not Dharma. Why did Buddha speak Dharma, but not Dharma? The reason he said this at the end was because Diamond Sutra is a finger to point us to the moon and the sun. As we see the sun, we then become enlightened to immerse with the Buddha's nature. The sun was the symbol of true wisdom and Buddhist nature. We see the moon to know the demon mind. However, if we dwell on the finger, we then cannot see the sun nor the moon. That was the reason the Buddha said his Dharma was not Dharma, because he worried if we dwell on the Dharma. We forget that Dharma is just a means for us to see our Buddha's nature. So this is the reason the Buddha said it was not Buddha's Dharma, because Buddha's words forms by fate. His words require a mouth, a tongue, and air. If I am on the moon and give a sermon, my sound cannot travel because there is no air on the moon. None of Buddhist followers will be able to listen to my preaching if I live on the moon. Up there, the astronauts must use walkie-talkies in order for them to communicate. In our planet, Buddha must have good tongue, a healthy larynx, so the sound wouldn't be muffled. And there must be air as well. These were the conditions for the Buddha to give his preaching. Therefore, in the Diamond Sutra, after 49 years of preaching, the Buddha said he had not said a word. Other sutras taught us how to reborn in heaven, to be beautiful, wealthy, marry beautiful wives, and have a successful husband. Those are just a patch of green grass or a dreamy life. The good deeds are actually the cause of suffering in the third world. That was the reason the Buddha also eliminated the supreme Dharma, because once you catch the true mind of his teaching, you then shouldn't dwell on his Dharma. There were 4 things the Buddha couldn't do. They are helping people who are not predestined with him. Second, the Buddha could not alter the karma if it has already formed. He could alter the seed of karma, but not the fruit of karma. Third, the Buddha said his supreme Dharma cannot be described with words. He used his fingers to show you the moon, but you should forget his fingers once you see the moon. Just like once you reach the other bank on the river, you should leave the raft behind. Do not carry the raft on your shoulders. So many people, after they understand the Dharma, they still dwell on the Dharma. A patch of green grass is just a dream. I'm glad that an 80-year-old Dalat ex-officer hated me for singing Jun Gom Seung song, so I would have a chance to analyze the realm of return with the Diamond Sutra's viewpoint to benefit all layman people. From now on, every time you sing the realm of return, you will easily open up your enlightened mind. Respectfully yours, I like to dedicate the merit of this diamond talk to an old lady named Wick Drun Ju, who was the aunt of Mrs. Wick Ngọc Phương. Wei Zhao loved her aunt so much, and she did not know what else to do besides holding the offering ceremony. Because her offering ceremony, I came back to the headquarters and also preached the Diamond Sutra. I hope with the merit of this sutra teaching, she will be able to reborn in a peaceful realm. Her realm of return is the Western blissful world. I will see you again next week. I will also continue on next Sunday to perform another offering ceremony to Old Lady Wuk Tuan Chu, and I will preach the next section of the Diamond Sutra. I welcome all the questions of the Diamond Sutra to be emailed at chuatamnguyen@yahoo.com. If there is any merit from this Dharma talk, I want to dedicate it to all compatriots, nurses, and doctors during this pandemic. They are the white coat heroes who directly confronted with the coronavirus Wuhan in the United States. Because of these white coat soldiers, the U.S. death rate is now only 3%. So once again, I'm a Buddhist monk, Thich Thom Lai, turned to the army of white coats, doctors, nurses, and staff in the hospital workdays and night to protect the lives of the U.S. citizens. I vow to bring this merit to all Buddhist disciples and sentient beings to fulfill the Dharma journey. Nam mô Công Đức Lam Bồ Tát.
Cho đời mọi mệt trên hai vai ta đôi vẫn thật nguyện rồi suốt trăm năm một cõi đi về. Lời nào của cây, lời nào của làng, một chiều ngồi xây một đời tận nguyện ngày qua.